I never thought I'd be the type to get caught up in a murder mystery, but life has a way of surprising you, especially when you're about to stumble upon a family secret that's been hidden for decades. Growing up, my parents always told me I was an only child. They said my mom had passed away shortly after giving birth to me, and they'd adopted me from a foreign country when I was just a baby. It wasn't until I turned 25 that I received a mysterious letter with no return address, or any indication of who might have sent it. The letter simply stated, "You're not alone." That's when everything changed. The contents of the letter would blow my life apart, leaving me questioning every identity crisis and self-doubt I'd ever faced. It turned out that this message was from my biological sister, a famous artist who had been murdered in Paris just a week prior. I couldn't wrap my head around it. How could two people share the same DNA, yet have such vastly different lives? As I delved deeper into our family's past, I discovered a shocking truth. I was the long-lost twin brother of that famous artist. The more I learned about my sister and her life, the more I realized how little we had in common. Her art was renowned worldwide, while mine consisted of playing bass in a local band on the weekends. It seemed like an impossible gap to bridge, or so I thought, but as I began investigating her murder, I couldn't shake off the feeling that there was more to this story than what met the eye. And then things started getting weird. People who claimed to be friends with my sister would call me at odd hours of the night, saying they had secrets about our past that could change everything. Some told me she'd been leading a double life, that her art was just a front for something more sinister. Others whispered about a dark figure lurking in the shadows, always watching and waiting. It was as if my sister's killer wanted to send a message that I, as her twin brother, had to decipher. And then there were those who claimed to be connected to me too. People from my adoptive family's past who seemed to know more about our shared history than they should. I started questioning everyone around me. Was it my sister's ex-boyfriend? A rival artist? Someone close to home? The more I dug, the more I realized how tangled and complicated this web of lies was. It dawned on me that the only way to uncover the truth would be to confront my own troubled past with our adoptive family. They'd always been tight-lipped about our biological parents, but I sensed there was something they weren't telling me. I started making calls, asking questions, and trying to piece together our family's history. My sister had left behind a cryptic note for me before her death, a poem that seemed to point to an unknown location in the countryside where she'd planned to hide some secrets. As I followed the clues, my adoptive parents grew increasingly nervous. They claimed they didn't know anything about our biological family or any potential connections to the murder, but their evasive answers made me even more convinced they were hiding something big. That's when I realized that I wasn't just searching for answers. I was running from something. The killer could be anywhere, and every new lid felt like a threat lurking around the corner. One night, as I walked through the dark streets of Paris, the city my sister had called home, I couldn't help but wonder, what secrets lay hidden behind every smile? Were they smiling with me or for me? And then I saw it, a small cafe where my sister used to meet her friends. Inside, I spotted his picture on the wall, the same man who'd been accused of being her ex-boyfriend. But as I approached him, he turned around and whispered, "You'll never uncover the truth. You're just a pawn in this game." Suddenly, I realized that my sister's murder was more than just a crime. It was an art piece created by someone determined to deceive me at every turn. I quickly left the cafe, knowing I had to act fast if I wanted to stay one step ahead of our killer. But as I turned down a new street, I caught myself wondering, what secrets lay hidden behind my sister's art? Was it just a canvas of colors and shapes, or was there something more sinister lurking beneath? Questions swirled in my head like the city itself, urging me to uncover the truth at any cost. And then, out of nowhere, I stumbled upon an email from my biological father, the one who'd left us when we were young. In it, he revealed a shocking family secret. Our biological mother had been part of an underground art collective that hid its true purpose beneath the surface. As I pieced together this new information with everything else, I realized that the key to unlocking the truth lay hidden within my sister's own art. I spent countless hours poring over her canvases, searching for clues and patterns that would lead me closer to the killer. And then, finally, it hit me. A painting with an almost imperceptible symbol in the corner. The same symbol that adorned our family crest. It clicked into place like a puzzle piece falling into its rightful spot. I had uncovered a web of lies, deceit, and half-truths that led back to my biological parents. People who'd been hiding secrets behind their own faces for decades. As I looked at the painting now, it seemed surreal, as if I was staring at two different worlds colliding in one stroke of brush. The art world, where everything was about deception and pretenses, had never felt so twisted. But this wasn't just an art show, it was a crime scene, and I knew that to stay ahead of the killer, I'd have to keep pushing forward, into the very heart of darkness itself. I realized then that life is full of mysteries waiting to be solved. Sometimes you stumble upon pieces of your own puzzle by accident, but in doing so you unravel more questions than answers.